So my new apartment has a little bit of a balcony, which is quite nice, although there's a bit of traffic noise and wind, and it's Ireland, so as you can see, cloud cover isn't great. That's why I haven't been out here too much so far. There's a risk of being bucketed down on at any moment. Last night I went to a interactive cinema night, or interactive game night in Temple Bar. Ironically enough, it was a non-alcohol event, trying to promote a little bit of non-drinking culture in the city. Funnily enough, there were like youths drinking outside. Gotta love Ireland sometimes. But it was a playthrough of The Walking Dead Season 1, first episode playthrough, and I really enjoyed it. Walking Dead was one of my favourite games, I have to say. I really enjoyed the experience. Blasted through it over the course of a week, which may have benefited the whole experience in a way. I thought it was great. Last night I got to see how it plays as like part of a group dynamic, where everyone has to vote on the choices. And let's just say democracy doesn't work sometimes. Now there is one character in the game that Telltale has admitted that it messed up the writing of, and going through it again, it's very clear that they got it completely wrong. It makes one of the choices really, really easy, or a bit too lopsided. So I didn't get to see the alternative to my playthrough that time. It was interesting. People swayed between, making Lee a bit of a dick and actually doing the right thing occasionally. But there were moments where it becomes a bit of a comedy. And I realised that Lee is one of the most clumsy protagonists of all time as well. Constantly tripping over stuff. He's worse than Lara Croft. So the plan for the rest of the day is to try and get some Netrunner stuff in. I want to get some games recorded. The deck list of the week is up, which means I can do some bad publicity stuff, or at least get used to the deck before I record the actual games. And I have a couple of other video ideas that I want to mess around with maybe as well. So we shall see how it all turns out. But in the meantime, I have to do some boring, adult, responsible stuff, so let's just get to that instead. So it's a small milestone, but they all count. Having done YouTube before, if you missed a previous video, I talked about why this channel name isn't Saber0001. Maybe too many zeros. I don't know. Why is it such a ridiculous name? But I did YouTube before under that account name for mainly FIFA stuff. And, when you're a small channel, every sub is crucial. So finally hit that little milestone. Onwards and upwards. And let's see how big we can grow this thing. And yes, I know. That's what she said. So when it comes to projects and websites and things like that, Reddit can be pretty much make or break. It says it's the front page of the internet. It's the big hive for a lot of communities and things like that. So I thought this is finally the moment that I should just put it up there. Yes, self-promotion, but hopefully it's a worthwhile cause. And I have been fairly active on Reddit, for various Netrunner bits and pieces, just popping in and out on occasion. More of a reader than a poster though, so that could work against me, I thought. But decided after, putting it around on Facebook groups, it was finally the moment for the big one. And I messed up the submission process, I think. But by the time it appeared, it was well down the list. Some people were stumbling upon it, it seemed. But it's there. If you want to upvote it, you can. But I don't know if it's going to get any more visible as time goes on. But put it up there anyway. And, there's some good suggestions from people. One of which was the whole time zone issue, which I am aware is a problem. Unfortunately, Google Calendar doesn't let you display things to the person's local time. So everything's been in BST when it was in the list. And that caused some issues, as I said, with the whole learning process, or the learning day, I should say, in America. And things that I had to keep an eye on from that perspective. But it turns out when you click the event itself, the when is still, EST as well, which can cause some confusion. So instead I'm going through the whole list again. I'm going to remove those times, put them as all-day events, and just list the start time in the title instead, and hope that clears things up. And as I said in the announcement video as well, if you have any feedback, suggestions, or even, of events that are coming up that I don't have listed, please drop me a line and let me know. I will say that the month view looks more eye-catching though. So it's Tuesday. I'm finally going into town tonight to meet up with some local Netrunner players. I worked it out, I haven't played a live Netrunner game in at least a month. Definitely not been into town in Dublin since I moved. So yeah, it should be interesting. I do enjoy the live games, the tactile feel, all this kind of stuff, the social element of course. But putting together decks, maybe I should start a Patreon so I can get someone who will put decks together for me when it's time to do that. Unfortunately, because it takes me so long to deck build, I am going try hard with the Corp. and because I haven't found any fun ideas with Corp. So I'm playing a Near Hub that I want to practice, and I'm playing the Polana thing that I've been playing for quite a while. On the runner side then I've got Noise with the changes to include Bagat, and I'm playing the Gingerbread Kate. I tried that idea a long time ago. I must take a look at the deck list and see what has changed, but Kiv's been playing a version that actually works, so I'm looking forward to breaking that out as well. The Supporters for 23 Seconds came out last night. I will do a little segment on it in a moment. I tried last night, but I wasn't really feeling it. Didn't think my words were coming across perfectly. I was a bit tired, so instead we'll do it today or tomorrow, at some point anyway in this video. So just back from the casual games of Netrunner, good to get in, had a lot of fun. Got to play some more casual decks and just some competitive decks as well. So I've looked at, playing on the runner side. I think I really need to do something about the possibility of being mid-seasoned. There's a lot of tagging going around, even in casual games. And on the corporate side, I was playing kind of my more serious decks, my more try-hard decks, and trying a little something cute with Near Thump. And there is the possibility that it would just be better if it was standard faster biotics, throwing biotic labour, that kind of thing. But yeah, it was a good day out, enjoyed it. Unfortunately stayed around a little longer than expected and hoped to just chatting to people, and missed a bus, so now home later than expected, later than hoped, and still have to record a game for tomorrow, so not great. And Future Mark is going to be furious because he's going to be tired tomorrow. I do have a couple of events to add, and there was a Nationals announced, which I can't remember where now, but I do have the details saved. And the big boy is doing an online tournament this weekend as well. So all the details will be up on satellite-grid.blogspot.com. Don't be bitter, check it out. And now present Mark is furious with past Mark. Fuck that guy. Why did he leave me so much to organise and sort and even just put away before I can actually lie down? So before I go this week, I wanted to talk about just some of the 23-second spoilers. Apologies for the handheld of the screen as opposed to using screen capture software. There's some cards that I'm really looking forward to. There's some cards that I think will definitely see play, and then there's others I'm much less excited about. I think System Outage could be decent, in that kind of denial deck. We'll click into it for a second just so it's easier to read. Nice to see that the runners are getting a few more currents. Null has been spoken about in depth at this stage, the sky is falling kind of thing. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, and you have the NBN identity further down as well that kind of counters him, or is at least a direct response to him. It's nice to have it in the same pack. 0 link again, 15 influence. You're going to see parasites, you're going to see clone chips. You kind of know what you're sitting down against, I think, just on first impressions. GPI NetTap is probably one of the least exciting cards in the pack. I don't think it's that great. I mean, it's a hardware version of Snitch in that you can expose a piece of ice. Good for beginners, I will say. It's definitely a beginner-friendly card, which is great. But I think as people improve their game, it'll get cut far more often than not. It doesn't replace Snitch because if you are playing the Art of War style thing, you have to trash it to jack out. So very, very limited in that regard. But one card that I am looking forward to from the criminal side, and I know I said I wasn't going to go through the full pack, and I've clicked on all 4 cards, but Hernando Cortez. Just because I'm bringing him up because he's been the subject of some debate so far. People are saying he doesn't fit the criminal style of, credit denial. I would think otherwise. If you're doing siphoning them to death and vamping and all that kind of thing, same old thing, siphon, deja vu siphon, that becomes a lot less relevant if they have more than 10 credits. So a card like this means that you can drag them back into that range to make it easier to siphon, or at least more effective. So I think it's perfect because if you're criminal and you're taking 5 credits off them, but they still have 20 or 30, they don't really care. And there's times where you'll look at your account siphons and go, well, unless it's good economy to me, I might as well pitch them. Whereas this, at least, worst case scenario, you're Reyna, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's an additional cost for every piece of ice, which is much better than Reyna. But dream case scenario, you hit Ashigaru, they might be paying up to 14 credits for it. You hit Archer, they're paying 8, and then you're possibly de-resing it immediately afterwards. So I think it could fit that, credit denial style very, very well. If we skip on a bit, we have Juices Wild. Unfortunately, the artwork isn't showing. Dan D'Argenio forced to put on a shirt underneath his cutoff. and I'm not sure what to think about this. I mean, it will see play because of the variety it gives you, but it just seems kind of, I don't know, listless, aimless maybe. Now, I'm not a world champion, I'm not going to be anytime soon, but I would have liked something a bit more to this, I think. You know, you can pick two and resolve them in any order. I don't know, it's, as I said, it just seems a bit aimless. You know, you can gain 3 credits, you can draw 2 cards. It's nice to have the versatility to it, but a little bit of click compression. I mean, you can gain a credit and remove a tag in the same click, but it's not that exciting. I was hoping for a little bit more. I mean, he talked about an Eli 2.0, and I'm sure he wasn't allowed touch things like that, but yeah. On the corp side, I think Georgia Emilyov is one of the more interesting cards. You are being rewarded for making them make unsuccessful runs, and Jateki is very, very good at that. And then, even if they are looking like they're going to get in, you can bounce to another server, which seems like a lot of fun. It's paid ability as well, so if you know a piece of ice is going to stop them, you can just shift her on over to another server once they've kind of committed. If you're going to use an Ise token, or if you know you can win the side game, things like that. It seems great, just bounce her around. 1 net damage, Jinteki's all about the little chips away, so it could be a little bit of fun. Watchdog could be an interesting card. It might be one of those that, you know, you're going to see it too late anyway, because unless you're not resing anything, and then giving them an agenda, and then mid-seasoning them, and then resing everything for free, it could show up too late. But it is an interesting one. Interesting to see, you know, you're able to change the res cost of ice, very much depending on the tags that they take. So all of a sudden they might not go, well, my choice is either to take 5 tags or take 15 tags. Suddenly they might go, maybe I should put money into this just so everything isn't free. Like, yes, they'll pay less for ice, but at least they'll pay something. Then we have hard-hitting news, which is almost guaranteed to go in most sync decks, and likely to go into that kind of tuition sucks style deck as well, where you just want them tagged, and if they keep them, then they're in for a bad time, because you're going to keep stacking restructured data pools on them and grind them into dust, basically. So yeah, just a very quick blitz through some of 23 seconds. Let me know what cards you're most excited about seeing or playing around with a little bit. We're expecting it to hit pretty soon. Too late for regionals though, which is great, because otherwise there could be a dramatic shift in everything, and I'm not prepared for it just yet. I'm still trying to work out what corp I'm going to be playing in a couple of weeks' time. But that's it for this week. As I promised last week, this is probably the most boring vlog you're going to see, but then again, wasn't going to live up to last week. But on that note, please check out satellite-grid.blogspot.com for all Netrunner events coming up around the world. If you do know of events, please let me know. If you know tournament organisers, please let them know to give me a bell. Let me know what's going on. Check out the videos going up on Bad Publicity as well. We have 4 up there so far, doing 2 deck lists of the weeks. A lot of fun, really interesting to try out these new and flavorful decks, and the ones that have been kind of taking regionals by storm or doing well, a bit different at least. Happy with the reaction to it so far. It seems to be going all right, and we have a couple of new subscribers from it as well, so, you know, hello. And aside from that, I'd just like to say, you know, thank you very much for watching. I'm not going to pull any, I stumbled upon this website that lets you gamble alt-art cards. Nothing like that. Topical references if you're into video gaming or esports at all. Anyway, thanks very much. I will chat to you next week in another vlog with some possibly interesting news from this weekend. And aside from that, I will see you on jateki.net possibly.